Today, nearly 30,000 fans would show up at Soldier Field to watch the Bears practice for Family Fest. It was a 2+ hour session in full pads. And our head coach, Ben Johnson, would call out this offense for being sloppy. Although there were good and bad times today, it simply was not good enough, and our head coach was visibly upset. Today's practice was another very intense session. Ben Johnson is the guy that sets the tone, but it's other coaches like Dennis Allen, Eric Bieniemy, and Antoine Randall L. that make these practices much more intense than what we've seen in recent years. There was a lot of information to digest today. I'm going to go ahead and break it all down. Let's get right into it. First, let's go over today's injury update. As Karan Amagaji would miss his second practice. I talked yesterday and I thought it was weird that he'd have a rest day right after we had a day off. And my intuition ended up being correct. It came out last night that Karan is suffering through a lower leg injury. No details have been given yet, but today he missed his second straight practice, and I'll talk more about what that means for the left tackle position in just a minute. Meanwhile, UDFA running back Dion Hankins is dealing with a concussion and also missed practice today. Other guys who are also out are wide receiver Miles Boykin, who's dealing with an ankle injury, and tight end Jordan Murray, who has a groin issue. And then we also have two other players missing on the offensive line today, Ricky Stromberg and Bill Murray. Finally, Jalen Johnson, Shamar Turner, and Zay Frazier all remain out. I want to quickly correct the narrative surrounding Jalen Johnson, though. He is not holding out due to a contract issue. He is at Hallis Hall rehabbing. He isn't at practice, but he's working with the trainers every single day. This has nothing to do with his contract. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about practice. First, let's discuss the left tackle position. I've had Ozzy Trapillo as the favorite to win the job since the moment we drafted him. I talked about it live during the draft, and now that is looking to be the case. With Braxton Jones still ramping up and Farhan Amagaji now sidelined with a leg injury, all of the starting reps are going to Ozzy Trapillo, and he's established himself as the favorite to start for week 1. Now, we do still have over a month left, so don't expect the coaches to announce anything, but keep an eye on who is getting the reps with Joe Tooney and company. But even more important than just getting the reps is how they are performing. And Braxton Jones has struggled at times during this year's camp. Today, Deo Odangbo and Dom Rob both beat him badly on a couple of reps. So to me, the writing is on the wall. With Karan now missing back to back padded practices and Braxton Jones still struggling a bit and ramping up, this is now Ozzy Trapillo's job to lose. The starting O line has been Ozzy, Joe Tooney, Drew Dahlman, Jonah Jackson, and Darnell Wright all week. And the second team has consisted mostly of Braxton Jones, Bill Murray at left guard, Doug Kramer getting work at center, with Ryan Bates at right guard, and then right tackle has been a mix of Theo Benedict and Joshua Miles. But now let's go ahead and talk about the offense. A roller coaster of a day for QB1 in the first team. There were some big time moments, but also some decisions and moments that left fans scratching their heads. The offense had some major issues with pre-snap procedures. The false starts have not went away yet, and on top of that, there were 3 delay of games in today's practice. This is something that needs to get cleaned up ASAP, as Ben Johnson was not happy about it. Caleb also made a couple of questionable decisions today, but the pairing of our quarterback with Ben Johnson has also showed glimpses of greatness, and that was on full display today as well. Ben had a perfectly designed play call to beat the blitz, and this left Cole Komet wide open. Caleb had pressure in his face immediately, but he was able to stand strong and get the ball to Komet for an easy, wide open TD pass. Caleb would end the day with a beautiful 2-minute drive as well. He had 2 long chunk plays to DeAndre Swift and Olamide Zacchaeus before throwing a TD pass to rookie tight end Colston Loveland. So while this was far from Caleb's best day, it was nice to see him end on a positive note. Some other notes on offense. Kyle Monungai has continued getting some reps with the starters, but he did have a play today where he was supposed to get a pitch from Caleb Williams, but Monungai would run the wrong way on the play. When it wasn't Swift or the rookie at running back, it was DJ Moore who's gotten a lot of reps in the backfield. He even scored a rushing TD today in practice, taking a handoff from Caleb Williams and going right up the middle to score from 10 yards out. Our new head coach is going to continue finding ways to get the ball into the hands of his playmakers. DJ Moore at running back is just one example, but expect him to move guys all around this offense and find some very creative ways to involve guys like Colston Loveland, Romo Dunze, and Luther Burden. That is something I'm incredibly excited to see once this season gets rolling. When it comes to Tyson Bagent, he has had an awesome camp and he had another great practice today. I believe he's locked down that QB2 job. Today, the second team offense would line up against the first string defense for a few series, and Tyson did not look phased. He wasn't perfect, but he's played with confidence and made some big time throws. His best pass today was when he was with the third string, a beautiful TD pass to JP Richardson over the middle of the field. Theo Benedict was in at right tackle at that time. One more note about the offensive line is Bill Murray did replace Jonah Jackson later in practice at right guard, but it's nothing to worry about right now. Jonah is just ramping up after missing a couple of days. Okay, and now let's go ahead and talk about the defense, where my guy, Jervon Dexter, had his most impactful practice of camp. He looked unblockable at times today, and he had a huge play where he managed to get a safety, tackling DeAndre Swift in his own end zone. A huge day for Big Dex. Dexter has been running almost exclusively with the first string next to Grady Jarrett. And for those wondering what the starting D line has looked like, it's Montez Sweat, Jervon Dexter, Grady Jarrett, and Deo Odangbo for most of practice, although other guys do occasionally rotate in. Chris Williams, Andrew Billings, and Dominique Robinson all got time with the first team today, although they've mostly been with the second string, including Andrew Billings. But speaking of Dom Rob, he's been up and down a bit. He's made some flashy plays, but I've also noticed a few reps where he's way out of position. Today, Tyson Bagent had a rollout play from a play action, and it ended up being an easy TD pass to the tight end. The reason why it was so wide open, though, is because Dom Rob bit so hard on the play action that he took himself out of the play completely. Overall, though, today was a great day for the defense, and they had Caleb running for his life for the majority of practice. Dexter, Jarrett, Sweat, and Odangbo all had pressures today and got into the backfield. One play, Caleb had to spike the ball on the ground because Montez Sweat was instantly in the backfield and Deo wasn't far behind him. Grady Jarrett also exploded into the backfield on multiple reps today. Dex, Sweat, and Jarrett are going to be a force on that defensive line. If Deo can produce as well, we should get after QBs with a lot more consistency in 2025. Two other players who really stood out today were Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon. It seemed like they were all over the field. They've also been getting the fans more involved and having them cheer for big plays on the defense. Both of these guys seem like they're ready to have breakout type seasons in Dennis Allen's defense. And then the guys filling in for Jalen Johnson, it continues to be a battle between Nashawn Wright and Tyreek Stevenson. Both of these guys have gotten a lot of reps with the first string. But Tyreek actually stood out in practice today and had his best day of training camp. He broke up multiple passes and he was close to coming up with a huge interception on a Tyson Bagent throw. It might have been a pick six if he would have came down with it. Tremaine Edmonds and Nashawn Wright almost came down with interceptions as well. But Dennis Allen has continued giving us more of these three safety looks, and it's something that is clearly going to be part of this defense in 2025. Our new defensive coordinator loves to dial up pressures, and he's a lot more aggressive than Matt Eberflus was. He is constantly dialing up blitzes and pressures from both the linebackers and the secondary. This defense is going to be a lot more aggressive. That much is for sure. My final points here is yes, the defense definitely won the day today. But let's not forget, the offense had won 5 straight practices before today. There is no reason to overreact here. Hopefully, this offense can get back into a groove and get hot once the season gets going. That's a wrap for today. As always, I appreciate everyone who watches. Please hit that like button for me to support the channel. Stay tuned, and until next time, bear down.